Overtime. We have a great season ahead of us this spring semester. I'm Brendan Selke, that's Alex Salazar. We have a busy night of action Tuesday with both soccer and basketball going on around the district.
Yes, we did. Let's kick it off with some basketball highlights over at Marcus. The basketball edition of the Mound Showdown kicked off on the women's side. Flower Mound started off with a layup from Caitlin Edmondson and a three from Maya Bujak. Marcus fought to catch up with his drive from Elena Martin, but Lorelai Edwards sent it back right where it came from, and Flower Mound stayed in the lead. Marcus refused to quit with baskets from Kennedy Paidaway and Casey Young, getting Marcus within a 5-point deficit at the half. Flower Mound continued their reign of terror in the second half with back-to-back huge threes from Addison Gray. They kept the pressure on with a rebound scored from Edmondson. Martin got this drive to fight back, but it was not enough. Flower Mound defeated Marcus 57-49.
Let's keep the Mound Showdown going over to the men's side of the action. The game was very even to start as Landon Cox got a quick basket for Flower Mound. Then Dominic Harris got this beautiful three to open up the night for them. The back and forth continued in the second as Trenton Burkhalter drove the lane for the Jags. This buzzer beater from Harris to end the first half got all the momentum in the Marauders' hands, leading 28-19 at the break. Jaden Romnanen led the way for Marcus in the third with back-to-back threes. The Marauders outplayed the Jags in the quarter, outscoring them 17-4. It was much in the same in the fourth quarter as the Jags tried to keep it close with this three from Reed Jacobson. It was too much to handle for Flower Mound, though, as baskets from James Beckett and Jackson Sight closed out the games for Marcus. The Marauders got the dub and the Mound 64-31. Let's recap the rest of Tuesday night action for you, starting with the men's side of the ball. Louisville beat Plano West 71-69, Capel beat Hebron 48-46, and the Colony beat Frisco by 10, 66-56. Now let's preview some games here. Plano West takes on Marcus for that LSMN Game of the Week with a playoff spot on the line for the Marauders. Marcus won that last matchup by 12 as they look to clinch playoff spot. Flower Mound hosts Hebron in a key LASD matchup as Hawks dominated that last matchup 82-35.
Definitely looking forward to the LSMN Game of the Week. Now let's go over to the women's side of things. Plano West beat Louisville 59-45. Hebron thumped Capel 62-38. And Frisco barely squeaked by the Colony 35-34. Now let's preview some of these women's games we got. Flower Mound battles Hebron in a battle between two of the top LISD schools in the district. Hebron won the last matchup 57-45, and Hebron is also undefeated in district play.
Yeah, it's going to be a good matchup between that Flower Mound and Hebron.
It always is.
Yep. Both Hebron basketball programs are having major success lately as both the men's and women's teams had deep playoff runs last year. Here's Chance Disney sitting down with both coaches.
What are your expectations going into this year? Start with Coach Ryle.
You know, we both want to get back to that regional tournament to, fight for that spot in state. And so we're trying to just hammer out through districts and get to that one of those top four spots. Get to the playoffs, and when you get to the playoffs, anything can happen. And so that's truly our ultimate goal.
Last year we lost one district game, and so this year they want to go, the girls, it's their team goal, and they want to go undefeated in district. And another one of their team goals is to make it to state this year. Again, with the returners that we have, the experience we have three McDonald's All-American nominees. We have the returning co-district MVP. We have first team all-district player. We have two second team returning. So the expectation is that we win, we go undefeated in district, and then that we make it to state.
What changes were made going into this season?
We just kind of wanted to build on what we started last year. Returning 9 lettermen, 4 of our starters back. We just kind of wanted to, just build from that. Changes, we had a change with our coaching staff. But as far as plays, philosophies, nothing really changed on our part.
All right,
Coach Branch is kind of in the situation we were in last year where we had a lot of returners back. We lost 6 seniors, 4 starters, and so we had some experience back from last year, but we just had to get our kids to buy into the defensive part of things, and that was our biggest thing. We had some kids who had experience, but not starting experience, and that is a little bit different. But overall, what we try to do really didn't change. Our philosophy didn't change. It's just getting kids to buy into different roles and what they needed to do compared to what they did last year.
Coach Ryle, what do you think your team most excels at?
It's the motto that we have lived on this whole year. We are going to win our ball games by playing defense, and our offense is going to be determined by how much, but we're going to win because of defense.
And then with Branch, what do you think the girls team most excels at?
I'm going to piggyback with Coach Ryle again, and I think maybe because we talk all the time that, we kind of think alike. But defense, I know offense, in basketball, offense, it wins the crowd. It's the oohs and the ahs, but if you're able to defend and if you're able to stop a team, to me, that gets me excited. There's been a game that, our offense wasn't clicking, and we had 4 kids averaging double digits, okay, but one game, none of them could score. What kept us in the game, what won that game for us, was definitely our defense.
I guess start with Coach Branch. What does the girls team, what do you think they need to most improve on?
Improvement, consistency. Definitely consistency. Oh, consistently. Offense, if we're consistently pushing the ball, if we're consistently scoring inside and out, consistently attacking, okay, then, these games, they hadn't been very close, but they wouldn't be as close as they've been. And so I think consistency is the one thing that we could definitely improve on.
And then Coach Ryle.
No, but I'm just going to go on with that. We talked about just the other day, even after the loss to Plano East, we need to be more consistent, and that's all around, from our offensive game to keeping people out of the paint to being better rebounders. Being consistent. I think something else we need to do a better job of, value the ball. We can't work our tails off on the defensive end and turn around and give it away right away. That's a killer. So consistency, value the ball, and then again, we got to win in practice. We got to be consistent in practice. We can't have 2 days of practice, then show up and think we're going to win ball games. It just has to get better every day. 1% better every day, good things are going to happen.
And then one final question, you can answer, either you can answer, whoever answers first answers, but whose team is better?
Person.
His team is better defensively.
No, literally, that's a first statement. But listen, it's awesome to watch these guys. And we tell our guys, man, we got to go out and support the girls because they're fun to watch. They're ranked and they got some crazy girls on their team that can really play and get after it. The one thing you don't see is how much time our kids put in when they're not practicing. We'll show up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Coach Crawford, Coach Branch open the gyms up, and we have kids shooting, and there's no practice going on. They're here working. No one sees that. They just see we roll the ball out and we play, but there's so much stuff that goes into it. Yeah. Her girls work their tails off. Our boys work our tails off. Man, you know what? We just want to go out and represent Hebron the best we can for both of us, for Hebron High School, and just make everybody proud.
There was also some soccer action Tuesday night, so let's catch you up on that. In the first half, the Panthers and the Jaguars exchanged chances. Anthony Pardini missed this header for Plano East, followed by a chance for Ethan Ellis for Flower Mound. In the second half, it was the Panthers who dominated all facets of the game. They finally cashed in on one of their chances, this goal from Duncan Sullivan. The pressure from Plano East caused Flower Mound to get into some foul trouble as Hardy Milich picked up a yellow card. Flower Mound created chances at the end of the game, but some good defense from Plano East caused some trouble, and then this crucial clear from Anderson Gamaggio finished off the Jags. Flower Mound took the tough loss, losing 1-0 to Plano East.
Now let's move over to Hebron. This Tuesday, the Plano Wildcats took on the Hebron Hawks over at Brian Brazel Stadium. The Hawks had a multitude of chances in the first half to score, including this free kick opportunity that was saved by the Plano goalkeeper, and this other chance that barely went off the post late in the first half for the Hawks. But what got things going for the Hawks was Bradley Zamora. He got the first goal of the game near the 15-yard line, and that put the Hawks up 1-0. In the second half, it would be Zamora again with this absolute rocket from the 20-yard line that put the Hawks up 2-0. Later in the half, it was Copper West that would extend the lead for the Hawks 3-0 with this fancy footwork. That's more like Diamond West if you ask me. Hebron would go on to win the game 3-0. Keeping up with the men's games, Capel beat Marcus 3-2, Plano West beat Louisville 1-0, and Creekview beat the Colony 3-2. For some upcoming games, the Marauders take on Plano West in an early season matchup, and Flat Mountain faces off against Hebron. Flat Mountain is one of the top teams in the state.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that Flower Mound Hebron matchup. Now for the women's games. Flower Mound beat Plano East 7-1. Marcus tied Capel 1-1. Plano beat Louisville 4-0, and then Hebron thrashed Plano 7-1. The Colony beat Creekview 3-2. Now let's preview some games. The Hawks will visit the Jags for the biggest matchup in Texas as two top teams face off. Hebron being number 6 and Flower Mound being number 1 in the state. Marcus will look to find their stride this year against Plano West after a couple rough losses against Hebron and Flower Mound earlier in the year.
You know, Hebron and Flower Mound, they might have some good programs down there, if you ask me.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that.
Coming up after the break, we'll cover the relationship between coaching and teaching and bring you this week's Spotlight. Welcome back to LSMN Overtime. Everyone knows that coaches are also teachers, but there's more that goes into that than what meets the eye. Jake Collis has more on this.
In high school sports, coaches look to better their team, but they also have another more important job beyond the field.
I think sometimes the thing that gets lost with coaching is that we're teaching, and teachers, vice versa, are coaching in their classroom. Teaching is coaching and coaching is teaching, and there are some of the same things that apply, and you're trying to motivate and encourage kids to work hard and pursue those goals.
Coaches have a challenge of balancing personal life, coaching, and teaching.
So time management and just making sure that one group of students, whether it's my students or my athletes, isn't getting snubbed, I guess, and just doing justice to both parts of the job.
With such a busy schedule, these coaches find bright spots that make it all worth it.
It's probably the reason I got into teaching and coaching, but I also love teaching. It's just so satisfying working with young people and trying to make a positive impact and seeing kids reach goals. If I wasn't able to coach, I would enjoy just teaching my content area, without a doubt.
Coaches get recognition on the field, but sometimes their most important contributions are in the classroom.
I would say about the classroom that kind of gives me that fulfilled and excited feeling is when a student tells me that they feel safe or confident in my classroom. That's my favorite thing in the world, and I would say I would equate that to both the sport and the classroom.
Coaches are still teachers. They strive to give us the best in their classrooms and on the field. For LSMN Overtime, I'm Jake Hollis.
Now for our LSMN Spotlight of the Week. Here's DJ Criction with more on that.
This week's Spotlight goes out to Paris Bradley, the standout guard from Hebron. On January 23rd, Bradley made history, breaking the Hebron girls' all-time scoring record with 1,564 career points and still counting. Bradley is averaging over 22 points a game this season and has had an amazing career, including a co-MVP for 6A last season with the Lady Hawks, and will look to continue her basketball success at the next level with a college commitment to Louisiana Tech University. Bradley and the rest of the Lady Hawks will look to make a deeper run than a fourth-round playoff appearance this year. For LSMN Overtime, I'm DJ Criction. Now back over to you guys at the desk.
There are some recent award winners in LISD. Marcus water polo head coach Brandon Dion and Flower Mound cross country head coach Andrew Cook both won Coach of the Year awards. Hebron's Sarah Carlisle was awarded the Assistant Head Coach of the Year for water polo as well.
Last Friday, Marcus's cheer coach Jenna Wilkins was deemed Community Leader of the Week by DFW Inside High School Sports. She was nominated by one of her cheerleaders who praised Wilkins' creative ideas and team building skills.
This past weekend, the Flymount, Hebron, and Marcus swim teams competed in the district meet. Flymount had the standout performance, taking home the district championship for both guys and girls. Marcus and Hebron also placed well. Multiple swimmers and relay teams from all schools will be moving on to regionals, which start February 10th.
This week's grad star is Tiana Harlan, who graduated from Louisville High School in 2023. This past month, the freshman track runner for TCU ran a 23:50 200-meter indoor time, which is 4th fastest in Horned Frogs indoor history and the 7th overall time in the country. Tiana Harlan has racked up multiple race victories with 4 out of the 9 meets this season. She is one of the top and upcoming stars from TCU track, so keep your eyes on this standout freshman.
If you have a graduate for LISD that you would like featured as our grad star, let us know on Twitter at LSMN Sports.
That's all we have for today's episode. Make sure to catch Game of the Week tomorrow night for Senior Night at the Marauder Activity Center right here on YouTube.
Well, first show of the season, I think we did well.
Yeah, I liked it. It was a great episode. I'm glad we covered all of this.
Looking forward to more great episodes this season.
Yep. I'm Brendan Selke. That's Alex Salazar. See you next time right here on LSMN Overtime.